What up, world? We back again. This is my story, the legendary Kokane. I was born in South Bronx, New York, and I am the son of Jerry B. Long Sr., who was a writer, arranger, and composer of Motown. We worked on such songs as Just My Imagination, Still Waters Run Deep, Smiling Faces. So music has always been in my household since I was knee-high. I moved from New York when I was 3 years old to California. I'm growing up in Pomona. You know, you had your hardships, your social ills of suppressed environments, and I had to grow up through all that, living with my grandmother, because most of my family, was going through their hardships. In the 70s growing up, listening to your George Clintons, listening to your Fatback, your Ohio players, all that I emulated from the time I was a kid. So when rapping was coming along, back when Grandmaster Flash and them did their thing, it was the new rock and roll. So I gravitated from practicing singing the old school cat records to incorporating the b-boy. I would always do talent shows and kept my craft up. I can remember me singing like George Clinton in '85. And when Above the Law got signed, my cousin is Code 187 from a group Above the Law, his name is Hutch. He said, man, I want you to come along with me. I did a 3-song demo for Eazy-E. And when Easy heard the stuff, he scratched his head like this. He said, you know what, I got my George Clinton. Kokane is every bit what his name says. He's dope. Here it is raw, it's gonna work. We did a 3 artist venture. It was Poor Broken Lonely, Above the Law, and it was Kokane, signed to Epic Records. And we put out my project, which was called Who Am I, because at that time, they were scared of the name. My first single on there was called Nickel Slick Nigga, which from 1990 it came out going into 1991. Also was a movie coming along called Deep Cover. Dr. Dre did the remix to that. Also, the NWA project had came out, which I guess appeared on that, Niggas for Life. During that time, Above the Law and Kokane was working tightly together, and Above the Law had discovered Snoop Dogg back then. And we had to go back in and work on my album, and Snoop Dogg couldn't wait around, so he went over there to the company that Dr. Dre started, which was Death Row along with Suge. We stuck with Eazy-E. Dr. Dre had started Death Row, Ruthless against Death Row. So we was working on Above the Law record, came out with Black Mafia Life. I had a heavy hand in that. And we was also working on my album called Funk Upon a Rhyme. Now this was like in 93, 94. And then I had an opportunity to get on an Eazy-E record, which was called Any Last Words. Easy to me, he was the root, from all the branches that grow, from the Ice Cubes to myself to Snoop to Dre. When he passed, oh man, it just left everybody separated. And would go to the studios and I was hungry. I would be singing a song, somebody like a Too Short, somebody with like E40 would say, man, I'm putting you on. And that kind of started a groove for me, my own niche to do hooks. Doing these hooks allowed me to have a safe haven for getting on a lot of records. Snoop sent a message to Half Dead. And he said, I'm starting my new label called Doghouse. Me and Snoop decided to squash the funk because at one time it was Ruthless against Death Row. And we was friends before all that old political stuff happened. In 1999, Snoop said, I got this group called the Eastsiders. So the first song we did was at the Music Grinder, and that song was called Lay You Down. That opened up a whole can of worms. Dr. Dre had called me up to the studio because he had this record called L.A.
Bang it! You genius, nigga.
And that did pretty good, so Snoop was like, I want to sign you.
Doghouse taking over the world.
He did the last meal. I think I really was supposed to get on like 3 songs. He ended up using 8 songs. And that record right there, The Last Meal, is really a classic. It did extremely well, so it really catapulted my name out there. it moved from just being from underground to being on a big scale. I have done such cuts like Wrong Idea, with Badass, Half Dead, Snoop, all the way from the Eazy-E, all the way from Puffy, Busta Rhymes. I am really the most featured artist in the world, and that's a blessing. As what goes up, it must come down. It's over there at MCA, but they had to file Chapter 11. So everybody basically went their separate ways. The East Siders, I went my way, Snoop went his way. It allowed me to take some time off, reflect on life, because I have 8 wonderful children and a beautiful wife I've been married to for like 21 years, and move up to Seattle. So I met this brother by the name of Eric Romas. We wanted to put this situation together called Buddy Boy Entertainment. It was time for me to step out on an independent scale. So I hooked up with this cat named Jay Wells, who's a mutual friend I've been knowing for years. And he heard some of the stuff that I was doing, and he said, "Man, you still on it. Your name is still out there. You got on a record, Malice in Wonderland, Snoop Dogg." And he said, "Man, send me something." So when I sent him something, it was like magic. I linked up with Crazy Tunes this year. One of my dudes way back, and I wanted to put this mixtape together called On the Back Streets. I have Snoop Dogg on there, I have Above the Law on there, I have Dub C, I have Ice Cube, and it's all orchestrated. Real master by Crazy Tunes. That's a prelude to the album, y'all. I want to take something from a testimonial point of view and have such songs like Have You Made a Difference in Your Hood and perpetuate that positivity. Because us as rappers, us as singers, we do have an obligation to go ahead and start standing up and being responsible enough to say, people follow us, people really listen to us. This Give Me All Mine project, you're going to see something that's well-rounded. You're going to see the testimony of the most featured artists in the world, touching on social ills. Also, at the same time, I'm a work in progress, so therefore I got your ass shaking songs, some down south songs, because we don't want to leave nobody out. When you hear this Kokane record, you're going to be inspired, you're going to be touched. And that's what this project is about. The Twilight Zone video is out. I have Q, I have Snoop in there, Above the Law, I have Down, I have Rob Rax, I have Mr. E, Chill, produced by Chill, from the legendary Compton's Most Wanted. Big ups to all my funketeers out there. Let everybody know the OG funk is about to return. Kokane, listen up. The legend continues.